The suspect in the murder of 4 University of Idaho students appeared before a judge today, where he was formally charged and ordered held without bail. His appearance comes as we learn new, shocking details about the crime. We now know one of the survivors actually came face to face with the killer as he fled the scene wearing all black. Jim Murray is in Idaho with the very latest.
There are eye-opening revelations today as murder suspect Bryan Kohberger appears in court in Idaho for the first time. One by one, the 4 charges of first-degree murder were read by the judge.
And the maximum penalty for that offense is death and/or imprisonment for life. Do you understand?
Yes.
Members of Kaylee Goncalves' family were in court to see Kohberger arraigned.
I was looking at Steve Goncalves, Kaylee's father, and he was staring intently at the suspect.
I would call the look that Steve Goncalves was giving Bryan Kohberger a death stare. As soon as Kohberger entered the courtroom, Steve Goncalves had his eyes on him.
And a just-released court document reveals that one of the roommates who survived the massacre heard victim Kaylee Goncalves say, "There's someone here." The roommate, Dylan Mortenson, saw the killer clad in black clothing and a mask walking towards her. She was in frozen shock as he walked past her and out of the house. Now everyone wants to know, why didn't she call 911? Court TV's Vinny Politan.
He's wearing a mask, but she saw the bushy eyebrows, and then she goes and locks herself in a room and doesn't call 911. I mean, they weren't called for 8 hours. I don't know what she went through. I don't know what her mental state was, but this is by far the biggest takeaway that we learned in the affidavit.
The documents also reveal the killer dropped a knife sheath like this one. It was found on the floor near the bodies of Kaylee Goncalves and Madison Mogan, allegedly with Kohberger's DNA on the button snap. The court documents say that surveillance video and cell phone records show that Kohberger was stalking the victims, parking near their house at night at least 12 times. On the night of the murders, his car can be seen on video arriving at the house and then speeding away 16 minutes later. He even allegedly returned to the murder scene the following morning at 9:12 and stayed for about 10 minutes. Then he allegedly drove back to his apartment in Pullman, Washington, and went to a local restaurant. He also went grocery shopping.
Bryan Kohberger had been spying on the victims, all of them, for many days leading up to the murders, which shows that they were targeted. Now, the defense has got to come up with a way to fight that in court.
Kohberger was returned to Idaho in shackles last night after a marathon 15-hour flight from Pennsylvania. Immediately after landing, he was given a bulletproof vest. A military-style helmet was placed on his head to prevent an assassination. He was taken to the county jail in Moscow, Idaho, in a convoy of police vehicles. He spent the night in a basement cell, inmate number 5356. After the hearing, the Goncalves family attorney spoke briefly with reporters.
It's obviously an emotional time for the family, seeing the defendant for the first time. This is the beginning of the criminal justice system, and the family will be here for the long haul.
Police had actually been monitoring Bryan Kohberger since November 29th, just 16 days after the murders. That's when a Washington State University police officer located his white Hyundai. Investigators also say Kohberger had been stalking the victims for 3 months. He says he will be exonerated.